about how we've added all these dev team members. That process to add a dev team member to a project that's this secure is such a long process, right? Because you've got to vet them, make sure their work is great, they're trustworthy. It's a heck of a process. So yes, so Beyond is a third. They're a third party and a JV with us, and that JV means that we work really closely with them on things, but they are a separate team.
So, like, with the connection to the underground, would that be where you guys have some involvement with Beyond?
Oh yeah, I mean way more than that though. Like, so if you look at one of the challenging things, or the most challenging thing in that project so far has been the importing of 10,000 unique fluffs, and then eventually all the beers. And with that's probably an equal amount of work from both sides to get those models into the right format for the game ready, the great game ready format in mobile and then PC VR, etc. And so a lot of that will be on our side, and then their expertise is incorporating that into the environment and the gaming area. But again, it's not my area of expertise, but we have the most insane Slack, by the way. I think I posted a thing about this. Like, our Slack, there must be other companies that are like, way crazier. But we have these channels that are like, I went to post a channel notification the other day and it was like, are you sure you want to message 73 people in 13 time zones? And it was just one kind of dev channel on one subject. So it's so crazy, right?
Yeah, the endless 24/7 time zone difference. It's like there's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
something going on.
Yeah, I mean, Santi's like at the peak of that, because because dev are like such unique and specialist roles. We gave up very quickly on trying to find the devs in the New Zealand, in the just in New Zealand, whereas we're often trying to hire in places. We're just about to move into our new building, and it'll be great when we've got like a specific spot. But God, I don't know what's your dev team total? You must have like one person in every time zone so far, right?
Yeah, I have like 2-3 devs in Europe, including myself. I have 4 devs in North America, United States, and then the rest is basically from New Zealand. So we're literally covering all time zones. It's actually nuts, because like one goes to sleep, one wakes up, and you really gotta, keep the lead over all of them.
Yeah.
So it's a very big job, but we love it. But it's really, really important, because just to get back to the technical talk of things, it's not a secret that nowadays we have so many services, going from party beer swaps, fluff swaps, a ton of API servers, a ton of contracts. That is not a lie. Everyone of our community knows that we have those things. Those things have to be looked out after, right? You can't just click and then go away. You can't do that. So it's really a must for an ecosystem like ours to have people all around the globe to basically cover 24 hours a day. If anything was to move like a single inch in the wrong direction, anyone could step in at any time. That is the truth.
Amazing. Have you ever worked in a company like Fluff World leading up to before that? Like, was there anything similar?
Yeah, well, me and my team have been leading several successful mints over the past month, of which everyone is aware, of course. And prior to that, I did have some very big responsibilities in other companies, of which I'm not going to share the names. Anyone that wants to look them up can find me on the NFL website and just, send me a friend request on LinkedIn or something. that really goes from other blockchain projects, really before the NFT boom, because I'm really into cryptography and all of that. And back in the days, I just used to build blockchains rather than only writing smart contracts. I've been in the sports betting world for quite some time. That company that I was working for back then got acquired. That's when I was like, okay, I really want to get back into blockchain. And now I'm kind of here. So it's one hell of a story. But I'm very happy. And I hope you guys are happy with my presence as well. And that is the most important thing.
I love
Yeah,
this.
I don't think anyone's got a problem with you, Santi. I think you're a good builder. Besides the people that always say when, everyone else loves you.
The when has been here since what? 2014, 2015, after 2015 after Ethereum launched. You know, when this, when that. I mean, and some project leaders actually feel pressured by certain people repeating the when over and over. When that happens too much, the leaders usually feel like they're like failing and it's taking too long. But only good leaders know how to or when to release certain things and when it's the time to release certain things. And you should only release certain things whenever they are 100% perfect and the thousands and thousands and thousands of people of your community are able to use it safely. We've seen so many examples of bridges, smart contracts, certain services getting hacked so easily, putting all of their community members at risk. It's insane. And that's all due to the high pressure and the fast pace we are in the crypto space, really.
Santi,
Yeah.
I've got a question for you. It's not a when question. It's a technical question.
It's a how question. Okay.
It's a technical question. It's so Thingies. So Aaron made a comment in the Discord, or maybe it was Twitter. I think it was the Discord a couple days ago that Thingies don't make art; they make objects. So can you technically tell us what he was talking about?
I mean, that's not really a technical question. I kind of see that more as a business question. You have the god of, oh my god, did Brooke just leave? Yeah, he actually did. Oh my god. Okay. Otherwise, Brooke could have just,
It's just you, buddy.
timed in here. Yeah, it's all me. Okay, guys, give me all the pressure. No, I won't be able to give you an answer on that, sadly enough. Those are more Brooke / Aaron type of questions to.
Is the object in the shape of a coin?
Is the object in the shape of a coin? It can be a square. It can be a circle. It can be anything.
Is it in the shape of a mushroom?
Is it in the shape of a mushroom? Very, very, very specific. I'm sorry, man. I really can't give you any answer.
Let's pivot real quick. Can you talk about the audit process, Santi, for like how you verify that nobody's gonna? Yeah, that's me. How you verify that there's gonna be no issues with any of the things that you do? Because pretty much it's been pretty flawless. Like, what's the process to make sure that it's safe and everything works correctly?
Especially in IT, it goes from design to building, and especially with this, I'm sure you're referring to the smart contracts. First of all, it's very, very important that you write full test scenarios and you do full loops of all of your contracts. Like any function that is in your contract should be tested, whether that's on Rinkeby or Upstone or a private chain. Every single function has to be tested. And if it comes down to NFT minting, it means that you need to do the full loop. Now, what do we mean by the full loop? You can't just, if you're minting 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 tokens, you can't just mint the first 3 and say, hey, this is it. You can't do that. You need to do the full loop as if you have your thousands of people that are coming on doing it. So first of all, the test scripts are incredibly important. anyone that is a coder, you can trigger a certain function, expect a certain response from that function. If that response is correct, then the behavior is correct. Then we actually have a dedicated audit team within the company. That's basically when we as devs, we take off our hands of our code and say, go for it. And that's when you sit with your fingers crossed, hoping, you just get the green light. And usually, thank God, we just get the green light instantly. And then after the audit is done, we test internally actually with the entire company. Anyone that is involved is able to test on our own private chain. And that just goes over and over and over. So for example, if we do a two-staged mint, so a private and a public sale, we basically say, hey, the private sale is now going to go in. Everyone in the company or whoever, we have a lot of people internally that help us with those kind of things. That first goes open, then we give a heads up that the public mint is open. Oh, okay, everyone is done. Great. We just repeat the process indefinitely all the way up till the very last moments of our mint. And that's pretty much how we ensure that no surprises arise, actually. Yeah, man, that's the secret of it all. It's actually not that special. I mean, it's just common IT stuff, although, in this crypto space, a lot of people are just not following any IT rules or whatsoever.
Yeah, it's all about execution.
I have another
what about your
question.
relationship with like ASM and kind of your interactions with them? Can you speak a bit about on that level of the business? Kind of what any hand you've had in kind of the relationship with ASM?
I mean, we've been working with ASM on a lot of things. What exactly, how exactly, I can't really reveal that. But yes, our relationship with ASM is very, very close. I think someone else also had a question. Someone just said, hey, I want to ask something.
Yeah,
What was that?
It was relating to what you were just saying. So for a lot of people, they get upset when something gets communicated about something being dropped. Is there any like moment where you guys are pretty sure that the mint is ready to go live, and then all of a sudden through the final heating process that something comes up and you have to like reiterate again, and that's why things can get delayed? Or is it?
Of course,
Yeah.
that's absolutely normal. If you think that's like not normal to happen, like anyone that is part of any project, if a company follows those strict rules, you should be incredibly proud of that company. Because that means they care more about you than they care about anything else. It's all about the safety of the community. That's like the number one priority of everything. Don't forget, what would Fluff World be without its community? Like, it's a very simple question, yeah. But what would it be without its community? Nothing. So can things get delayed if we find out about a certain bug or whatsoever? Even in the last 10 minutes of the mint, it never happened, but it could, right? Would we delay it? Yeah, absolutely, because that's the right thing to do. We would rather delay by a week or 3 days or 1 day, but not put our community in any danger.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that because I feel like a lot of people just expect things to just come on time, and a lot of people, I guess, don't understand what could be going on behind the scenes. So people have a better understanding. They could be a bit more patient. So thank you for sharing that.
We're just trying to maintain the best professional, IT standards, really. We're not a team of kids. We see a lot of I wouldn't even name them competitors, but other NFT projects of where the teams are just, very young guys, super interested in blockchain, never done it before, followed some YouTube tutorial on how to create an ERC-721 token. Think it's a great idea to just, put some money in for some marketing and then just go for it. We see that a lot of times. I know a lot of teams that operate exactly that way, which is, it's scary, man. It's really, really scary.
There's a good word for it.
Santi, can you talk about the rendering process for swapping scenes and sounds for Fluffs and Party Bears? Like the behind the scenes?
Well, that is an internal. Yeah, can I name it a secret? Yeah, it sort of is a secret. I don't think that is really information that should be out in the public. Obviously, we do our rendering, as you understand. Do we have access to all the Party Bears and Fluff files? Obviously, otherwise we couldn't, put the background on them. But how exactly do they get processed, etc.? I can't really leak that because that's really just that's just confidential information. I'm sorry, man. I just can't put that out in public. I hope you understand.
Well, I get that no one else can do that, and I guess if you share information, then other people might start doing that, and that could eliminate a competitive advantage. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let me ask another question then.
Uh-oh.
As the community scales, and Aaron has said in the past he would like to get into the hundreds of thousands and maybe even millions one day.
Mm-hmm.
How do you anticipate the difficulty behind that from your team's perspective?
I actually don't see any complications. At the same speed the community is growing, at the same speed our dev team is growing. We've really reached the point where we're kind of starting to work in divisions, as crazy as it sounds. So, for scalability, the wider team is scaling is incredibly fast. It's even growing faster than the community itself sometimes, which is very, very good because you have to be on time. You can't first have a community grow and then build out the wider team. You can't do that.
So maybe the fact that the community isn't growing at a super speed isn't the worst thing in your mind?
No, absolutely not. Look, don't forget, we're currently in a market that goes up and down. That is not a secret to anyone. It's very common in crypto that whenever we enter a certain bear market, the only hardcore community really stays. People that truly believe in us stay. And seeing everyone that is currently in this chat and active in the Discord, you are really the guys we're doing this for. And anyone that just exited the market and were like, those are not the real people. Those are not the people you're going to be talking to in the metaverse. Trust me. They're really not. And it really, don't forget, adoption takes time. It's not as 0 to 100 like real quick, if that makes sense. It really takes time, man. It takes, it's not...
But if you want to adopt a million users, you're going to have a couple 100,000 of those who are just the part-time brief engager. Check it out. I mean, that's I think scaling to that level. Are you saying that that's not a challenge? Is that what you just said?
So first of all, we're building all of our applications in a very scalable way. So even our API services, etc., whether there are 5 people using it or 500,000, that shouldn't matter. That's the first thing any dev that joins our company has to have in mind. Whether it's 10 people using the service or 500,000. No. It has to work. At any time. Oh, I heard someone talking in the background. Who's that? Oh, no one else heard that? Oh.
Santi, when are you getting married?
It's probably gonna be late July.
Shit, that's
So yeah, man. Oh man,
Maybe
she's so mad at me.
Then.
We went to have pizza today, and I was like, "Girl, listen, I'm not gonna be with you the entire night." She was like, "Why?" I thought that's what we like agreed on. I was like, but babe, listen, Buzzies, and I told you this. She was like, okay, you can go. Oh,
Are we gonna have Thingy-Alpha before your honeymoon?
oof. Why always so specific? You're really, really, really asking the wrong questions to the wrong guy, honestly, because yeah, like let's be very honest, like I'm just the technical guy. Certain things, business decisions, what can be spoken about is really out of my league. Always whenever I join the VCs, people start asking me business questions to which I never give an answer. I'm just the tech guy.
Yeah, I mean,
PCO's not on the call. I got
ultimately that would be a bad thing because then, okay, let's say it doesn't happen before his honeymoon. Guess what we're gonna do? Oh, what the fuck? You didn't tell us about the fucking honeymoon. What the fuck?
Careful, honey.
I'd rather know where you're going on your honeymoon, Santi. How about that?
Oh, it's not gonna be that special. I really have a lot of stuff to do, which might
Make sure you take some time off and enjoy with your woman.
No. No. Everyone knows, like, in the entire company, like, Off and Santi, aka Joey, that's my real name, by the way. Like that. Nah, that doesn't really go well, man. I eat, sleep, blockchain, repeat every single day of the week. That's really my motto. And my about me on Slack, which is our company chat, is literally why do something tomorrow if it can be done today. So nah, man, I'm not gonna take any excessive time off. I don't like that. I love what I'm doing. Why would I take time off? Like, what?
Well, don't make it excessive, but you deserve a few days off every now and then, just for yourself and
every now and then, once a year.
Wait, I have a question. Where does the name Santi come from?
So I will tell you. I used to be a very serious gamer when I was like 12, and I once was at my grandmother's house and I opened up a magazine which contained an advertisement of some diving equipment or something, and I was called Santi, and I was like, okay, wait, that is actually a super dope nickname, and yeah, I've been using that ever since, and that is really where the name Santi came from.
What games did you play that you really liked?
I was really, really, really big on games like Counter-Strike. Valorant got released like 3 years ago or something. Tried that out. Not really my piece of cake.
Have you heard of Meta Ops on Solana?
Meta Ops?
I've been playing the fuck out of that. Yeah, it's on Solana, and it's a lot like Counter-Strike or Valorant.
Solana? You're cursing in my house? Really?
I know.
We're talking.
It's arcade. It's
Legend
arcade
of Zelda.
things.
Legend of Zelda.
Well, yeah,
it's a single player game.
mean, man, those games are old school, man.
Borderlands.
There's no game that can compare to Tetris, actually.
Yeah, it's actually the number one sold game is Tetris.
Yeah,
I
think you get Tetris in a board box.
Yeah.
We should have
In the meantime, guys, we have a total supply of 3,715 on the Buzzies. Congratulations.
Hey, Santi, I have a question on Underground.
Yes, go for it.
I actually have a couple questions on Underground. So,
okay.
Is Underground right now compatible with the Ledger? Can Ledger?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have my borrows and Fluf in Ledger, and for some reason I'm not. I mean, I can connect to Underground, but I can't sign in to get a passcode. And I reached out to Beyond Team, but Beyond Team was saying that I have to reach out to Flop Dev. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
You should be able to connect your Ledger through Wallet Connect. Whenever you hit Wallet Connect, you should be able to click Ledger Live. Just make sure that your Ledger is fully up to date with the latest firmware. If that's the case, please send me a DM so we can figure things out, because obviously Ledger just should work very smoothly. That is one of our goals. So
Yeah,
I use my ledger through MetaMask, and that works fine.
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna try that.
Do it
So,
through MetaMask.
so are we going to have like multiple wallet connected to Underground in future? Like, say, if you have Ledger and MetaMask, can
Just a
both be added?
conversation about the project, the Fluff World and shit.
Hold on,
Hey,
someone else was talking.
Can you go on mute,
Oops.
Ginger?
I can raise my hand and talk in it. Oh shit! I need a mute.
Yeah.
I just,
beautiful.
I've sorted him out.
No, when it comes down to wallets, the main goal really is to be able to cover all the major wallets, right? Going from Ledger, MetaMask, Wallet Connect. You know, thank God Wallet Connect was really a piece that was sent to us from heaven, that covers so many various wallets from within itself. But no, really, our goal is to just be able to support as many wallets as possible, because a wallet at the end of the day is, as weird as it sounds, nothing too special. It's just be able to emit a transaction to the device. The device has to sign the transaction, then the signed transaction comes back or gets emitted to the blockchain straight away. So that's really all what a wallet is. So a certain
But you
wallet
cannot.
should
But you
never be able
cannot sign.
to.
You cannot sign multiple wallets at the same time. Is that correct?
What do you mean by multiple wallets at the same time?
Say if I have half of the Fluff assets in Ledger and half in MetaMask, and I want to connect it to Underground, both the addresses, I won't be able to do that at the same time, right?
No. I mean, they're two different public keys, so that's how the cryptography behind things work. So yeah, you have one address left and one address right. No, those are not merged. We're actually looking into a way for people to link certain hot wallets with cold wallets to be able to use those during mints in the future. That is actually a leak, but should I continue on with the leak? Maybe.
We've heard that a little bit.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
surely
Well,
could.
it wasn't.
Yeah,
confirmed
Aaron
to me.
discussed that.
Oh, Aaron leaked
Half
my
leak.
leak. Okay,
What a
Aaron.
what a surprise! Aaron leaked something ahead of everyone else.
Says the master leaker himself. Okay.
I'm not
so I
fast
can ask-
enough anymore.
So, Brooke, I had a question earlier that Santi told me that you'd answer, and now that you're back, I'm going to ask it again.
Let's go.
Let's go. So, Aaron was talking about thingies, and he said about thingy art, and he said they create objects. What's that all about?
Well, you'd be crazy to think if you've got a creative entity and you live in a 3D metaverse to think it's just creating in 2D pictures. So we know that, and you guys will have an understanding that Altered State Machine and the longest standing project that ASM and Fluf have been working on together is Thingies. And you know that they're fur and the paintings are generated by AI, and that they themselves have AI brains. They are artists. So some people might not know this because they might have arrived in the ecosystem after October and November, where a lot of this was kind of the news. And one challenge is it's just such a massive thing. It's such a massive undertaking in terms of we're creating an artificially intelligent artist that creates things. And they have run some really awesome trials, tests, workflows on them creating art. And what Aaron is suggesting is that it won't stop at 2D art. And so everything in the metaverse is 3D art, right? Well, except for music. As far as I know, they don't create music. But you know what I'm suggesting? I'm suggesting that everything in the metaverse could be created by a 3D artist.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. And again, a lot of that, I'm not as privy to the technical aspects of this. ASM have this, and I don't know who else is in the room. Declan's in the room. It's so funny when we throw these parties. I've mentioned this before because Altered State Machine will throw a party and we'll turn up, and it's just like this room of big brains. They are like the top AI minds in Australasia, and some of them are up from overseas. And like the stuff they do is just so far beyond me. There's like a rule that you should always try to be the stupidest person in the room. It's like, making sure you're learning all the time. That's the room you want to be in.
Yeah,
You get in more rooms, Brooke.
What's that?
I can feel that at South by.
Yeah. Oh, we got LV50. This is a big smokers room, guys. This is massive.
Yeah, this is massive. Is it just because I joined?
It is. Well, listen, I went and did a whole nother job, and I came back, you were still spilling the beans. You've been doing a great job. Jace is in here. Oh my gosh. This is a full-on party. Can I tell you what I was just doing? So I'd love to get a show of hands. I don't know if you can do that in here, but I just had to jump off on a call. The prawns, we've started talking about the New Zealand stuff, and I've now guaranteed the New Year's Eve, so I have the vineyard set up. There is definitely going to be a party at New Year's Eve on Waiheke Island, so it's kind of like a get yourself there. Yeah, that's then the second part that we're just going to need to gauge now is whether or not the prawns are keen to throw this kind of event down the other end of the country, right? New Zealand is a long, skinny country. It's about as long as the coastal western United States plus a little bit of Canada, right? So it's about like from Vancouver to Tijuana is about the length of New Zealand. And Auckland is like the hotter part in like in the far north in our case, because we're in the southern hemisphere, and that's where the island is. But if you kind of make your way down country, one of the most magical places in the world is a town called Queenstown, which kind of looks like you drop the city into the middle of Lord of the Rings. It's just amazing. It's on a lake, this crazy deep lake called Wakatipu. And a bunch of the prawns have some good connects down there. So they're talking about doing like a 2-day kind of start the year off right on the 9th of Jan. And, I will socialize these things. So none of this is locked in, but we're just kind of getting a sense of whether or not we could have 250 people that would want to come to that. And so that was the meeting I was just in. Yeah. Yeah. I figure you could, right? Like, so you've got a whole week to kind of cruise between New Year's Eve. You can explore New Zealand, do stuff, and then we'll kind of kick off the year the right way with the core community kind of getting down and kind of learning at the start of it, and then having a party at night.
I'd love that.
Big fan.
Yeah. As long as it's
okay.
a place where we can actually go, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
that's right.
I am Don. I unmuted you. You were server muted.
Okay, so yeah, so 250. You think you'd get it out of a good community of considering all the communities, you'd get the ASM communities in there as well, Seekers, etc. Okay, people would bring partners, right?
What if it was like 1,000 people wanted to come? Would that be too much? Do you think you could handle it?
Well, I think the first thing is, and so this is the, I don't know if I could get us covering everything. Like at the moment, we'd cover the party, and then like people would just pay for the hotel and kind of conference thing, which would be nothing like, when I say nothing, like 600, 800 New Zealand dollars. So it's something like that. So we're not going to. What I won't get across the line with Aaron, etc., and the team, I'm guessing, is us paying for everything, like everyone's hotels, travel, all that kind of stuff, right? So it will be a little bit restrictive to people that can afford
We just want an open bar. Maybe some appetizers would be great if you could pull it off, and some live music.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I'm going to pitch. We pay for the party, and you guys can pay for the kind of the sessions, and we'll supply like the big brains. So we'll get the McDonagh down there, or if we can. I mean, I can't promise those guys. They've got families, but yeah. So I'm going to keep socializing that, but if we can it's the prawns that are throwing it, right? So this is slightly separate. This is PrawnHaus, which is like, you know, like Fluff House but prawnified. And so
there's gonna be a bunch of puzzles as party games and stuff.
We're prawns now, Max. We've got to show up.
Yeah.
Max,
Yeah.
if I go there, I'll promise you I'll take a bottle of liquor with me for you. Okay? Pinky promise.
Santa, you have to come. It's gonna be New Year's.
Bro, it's like what, a 27-hour flight? Like imagine me 27 hours and not being able to code.
It's actually quicker than that now, though, because like what are you to New York? You're like 6 hours to New York, like 3 hours.
6 hours to New York. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so there is a New York to Auckland flight now that's 17 hours straight. So you're talking about maybe 26 hours, including the layover.
And I said 27. You saved me 1 hour. What's that kind of thing?
That's
all you'd have to do is hang out a day in New York.
I literally thought like Brooke reinvented the Concorde, but nope.
If we get Santi business class 27 hours, it's like being in a hotel, dude. They just feed you, you sleep, you watch movies.
Nah,
it's
man,
awesome.
I'm really not that type of guy. Like, you know, I really don't care.
You can code,
I just want
though.
to get there. As long as there is Wi-Fi on the plane, I can get on the plane. Otherwise, I am not getting on the plane. I'm telling you already.
Yeah, there's Wi-Fi. I just did it. There's Wi-Fi on the planes. It's easy.
Jeez, Brooke, are you not paying him well? This guy can't afford the in-flight Wi-Fi or what?
You know, the funniest thing is you generally find like dev, especially Web3 dev, like are all independently wealthy from their crypto holdings, but most of the dev people I know just don't. Money is not their thing, right? It's a really interesting thing.
Money is nothing in life. If you only praise money, then you're definitely doing something wrong. You'll reach, okay, and this is, you know, not technical, not anything, but there will be a point in time in your life where you're like, okay, this money that I have, like, it's like meaningless if you're not really doing something with your life. You can drive the biggest Ferraris, the biggest Lamborghinis, have the biggest homes, but really without any purpose in life, without any family, without any love, without any hope or future, even the biggest house in the world can't feel like home. It's really all about, you know, the true purpose in life. And for me, that's all about blockchain and, you know, that's what it is all about.
Money's the byproduct. It's the byproduct of your passion.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, pretty much. Guys, I actually want to sign off. It's like 3:30 in the morning right here. But before I sign off, I just want to thank you all for always being there for us, and that you guys are such amazing people. And if you're looking for a job, head on over to Non-Fungible Labs/jobs. We still have some jobs available for Web3 developers, front-end developers, back-end developers, blockchain engineers, 3D modelers, 3D engineers, etc. So if you think you're a right fit for the job, either, you know, reply on the website or send me a DM, and I'm pretty sure we can get an interview.
Hey, before you go, I want to try something. I don't think this is going to work. It probably won't work, but I'm going to let everybody unmute, and everyone's just going to put their hands together for Santi and Declan and everyone that this Maypril, the 42nd of Maypril, really special day. Unmute your microphone simultaneously, everybody, if you're listening, and we're going to do a round of applause. Ready? Get them. I can still see they're all muted, you ungrateful bastards. Unmute them. Here we go.
Nice. I love you, Santi.
Thank you,
Santi and Dev Team Legends.
Thank you, Santi.
You're the best.
I'm getting kisses left and right. Don't let my fiance hear that.
Waifu, man. Waifu.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Yeah, have a good night's sleep, buddy.
Hi.
See ya.
Sleep well, yeah?
Bye, Santi.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Later, Santi.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a great smokers room. I'm going to go back so my wife doesn't divorce me.